now actually we are mixing this BC grading material grading 1 with 60 grams of bitumen. That is, we have taken 1.2 kg of aggregate and 60 grams of bitumen, which corresponds to 5% of bitumen by weight. So we are mixing. So the bitumen was heated to temperature of 144 degrees. If you remember in the Brooklyn viscometer test, so we got the mixing temperature range for the VG30 was 142 to 145 degrees. So we have heated the bitumen to a temperature of 144 degrees and we are mixing in a particular temperature. So now you can see how the bitumen has coated all the aggregate ranging from coarse to fine aggregate. It is now completely a black material which has been coated all the aggregates. So now what we will do, we will transfer this uniformly coated mix to the mold, what we call as Marshall mold, right? And we will compact with a standard Marshall hammer. So we will show the hammer and we will show the mold also. So this Marshall mixture is widely used in across different countries to determine the volumetric properties and suitability of the bituminous mix for pavement construction. So this is the Marshall mold. Inside the Marshall mold, we have placed the hot mix, right? So which is at the temperature of around 150 degrees now. So now what we will do, we will now compact it using a Marshall hammer, right? So by giving 75 blows per face. On each face, we will give 75 blows. So first we will give on the top face and we will invert it and then give to the bottom face. Totally 150 blows, which is 75 blows per face. Now this hammer is 4.5 kg weight. It is dropping at a height of from a height of 18 inches or 450. Now this is the compacted bituminous surface. Now you can see how the aggregates are arranged tightly. Now this mix is still hot. So what we will do, we will allow this particular mix in the mold for 1 day curing. Curing means it will just get set, right? Not water curing. We just allow in the mold for 1 day so that it will cool. Now if you remove the mix immediately, what happens? The mix is not still stable. It may collapse, right? It may lose its shape. So this hot mix will be left in the mold for 24 hours so that it will cure and cool down to room temperature, and the next day we will extract this sample and will test for further properties. Yeah, when it allow it to cure, right, you will place this mold in this fashion so that both the ends, say this end and this end, will properly cure. You should not keep it upside down. Keep in this fashion so that it will cure from both the faces and allow it for 24 hours. Today we will demonstrate the Marshall stability test. So in this test, we determine the strength of the mix basically. The stability of the mix indicates the strength of the mix or the load carrying capacity. The stability has a value of kilonewton or kgs, right? We will determine the stability using an apparatus called as Marshall stability apparatus. Now before determining the stability value, what we will do, we will condition the specimen at 60 degrees for half an hour before testing. So it's a water bath, where in this water bath we will place the specimen, and this water bath is conditioned at 60 degrees, right? And it is placed for half an hour. So once we take the sample from the water bath, it should be tested within 30 seconds. That means you take a sample of Marshall compacted sample, then place in the Marshall stability mold, right? And within 30 seconds you will test the specimen so that the sample is tested at temperature of 60 degrees. Now this temperature is basically to simulate the worst case condition where if the pavement temperature is 60 degrees, what would be its load carrying capacity. This is the Marshall stability mold. So you can see basically it has two guiding rods, and this is the lower plate. Now the sample is placed on the lower plate, right, and then it is placed on the upper plate with the guiding rods. Now this ball is placed to equalize the load on the sample. Now this whole setup will be shifted on the Marshall stability apparatus. The stability apparatus has two things. One is an load measuring load frame which will apply the load. Other thing is the LVDT, which is deflection transducer, determine the flow value or how much it will get compressed, right, when you apply a load. Now the load will be applied from the bottom. It's a bottom load applying apparatus. In this we can get to know the load reading and also the loading rate. So for Marshall stability, we apply a load at a rate of 50 mm per minute, and this is the LVDT, which will measure how much it is being compressed when you apply a load from the bottom. So this will give the flow value and this will give the stability value. So now we are applying a load. So you can see the values here. It is showing the load reading, that is 19.34 kN, and displacement reading is 3.56 mm. So now the load is considered stability value and displacement is noted as the flow value. So this way we can determine the stability and flow value for each Marshall specimen at different bitumen content. So as discussed in the previous video, so in this way we will determine the stability at different binder contents and see whether it is adhering for the specifications or not. Now this is the sample which is failed in the stability test. So you can see how the shape of sample has been changed from a purely circle surface to somewhat a oval shape. So this way the sample has failed, and you can see this particular thing has come out, which is almost corresponding to the flow value of the specimen. So this is the failed sample of the Marshall stability specimen. So in the last video we saw how we prepare the Marshall specimen, right? So what we do while preparing Marshall specimens, we prepare a different bitumen content. In the x-axis it is bitumen content. So we prepare Marshall specimens, right, at different bitumen content, let's say 4.5, 5.5, and for each bitumen content we prepare 3 specimens, right? So for each bitumen content we prepare 3 specimens, and once we prepare 3 specimens, we will determine few volumetric properties, right? From the volumetric properties, we will determine the optimum bitumen content which will satisfy certain criteria for a given gradation. Let it be bituminous concrete or dense grade bitumen, bituminous macadam or bituminous concrete. So for all this gradation, there are certain criteria set by MORTH, that is Ministry of Road Transport or IRC. So we will see that how to determine the OBC, optimum bitumen content, and we will determine at that particular OBC, so whatever criteria has been set should be satisfied. Now the first thing to determine OBC is, what we will do once we determine all the specimens, we will determine air voids, voids in mineral aggregates, voids filled in bitumen, density, flow and stability. So once we determine all these 6 parameters or properties, we will plot graph, right, with x-axis as bitumen content and y-axis the parameters what we determine, right? So we will see how to calculate this parameters in theory classes. Now we are showing the graphs. We are showing the graph for a particular experiment. So first what we will do, we will find the OBC corresponding to the 4% air voids. So now why 4% air voids basically? So when you compact the mix in the field, normally you will compact to around 7 to 8% air voids, right? Initial compaction. So when you give final. So when the traffic starts plying on the particular pavement, so the final air voids will sit at 4%. It means around 3 to 5% it will be there. Normally we assume it to be 4%. That is 4% is the air voids attained in the flexible bituminous layer after years of service. Let's say 2-3 years of service. So the final bitumen content, the final air voids will be around 4%. Now corresponding to 4% will determine the bitumen content. Now let's say in this case it is 5.25%. Now once we determine the 5.25%, we can see the arrow mark here. So we first see for 4% airwards will move rightwards and drop on the x-axis. Now that is the bitumen content what we get, it is 5.25%. Now at this 5.25%, we will verify other properties like VMA, voids in mineral aggregates, voids filled in bitumen, density, flow, stability. Are they adhering the required specifications, right? Are they within the limits set by the specifications? So now let's say from the 5.25%, we will move for the VMA. Now VMA, we also look into why this particular trend is coming in theory class, right? So anyways, we'll study that in theory classes. So from 5.25, we will see the arrow direction. From 5.25, we will see what VMA we're getting. We're getting something around 16.2%. Now we will see whether 16.2% is it adhering the required specification or not, because the irrespective of bitumen gradation, I mean the bituminous mix gradation, normally we select 4% air voids, but the VMA, VFB, density, stability and flow may vary depending on the gradation. So in this case, we are talking about SDBC, that is semi-dense bituminous concrete. So if you see here, we got around 16.2% VMA. Now at the same bitumen content, we look into what is VFB, voids filled in bitumen or filled with bitumen. So if you see here, it's around 74%. Again, we'll see density, it's around 2.58 gram per cc, and if you see the flow, it's around 3.9 mm, and the stability is coming around 1170 kg. Now if you see specifications for SDBC, right? Now this red mark what I'm showing here, there are specifications. Now for VMA, it should be more than 14%, it is satisfying. For VFB, it is 65 to 78%, it is satisfying. And for stability, it is more than 820 kg, it is satisfying. And for flow, it is 2 to 4 mm, it is satisfying. So now at this particular bitumen content is 5.25%, almost every property are satisfying, and hence this can be taken as the OBC, right? Sometimes what people will do, they will give a range of bitumen content. They will select for 3% and 5%, what would be the range. So in this case, we will see for 3% we will see one range, right? For 3% we will see here, in this case 3 is not there. Let's say we will select this particular range, minimum range, for let's say 4, 6%, and again 5% we will see. So in this particular range what we have got here, so in this range they will see which all properties are being satisfied. So if they are not satisfied, what we will do, we will narrow the range. We will go narrow and narrower, so that we see that all the properties are satisfied within the bitumen content, because the 5.25 what we got, right, that is one number. So in the side there will be some plus or minus, some tolerance may be there. So what tolerance has been given, within the tolerances all the properties should be satisfied or should be adhering to the limitations or specifications what has been given. So this way we will determine the OBC from the Marshall mix design by determining all these properties, that is air voids, VMA, VFB, density, flow and stability. So we will give a demonstration how to find the stability and flow, right, in the laboratory classes, right.